To talk about this, Aftyn Behn. She's running as a Democrat for Congress in Tennessee. Aftyn, good morning. Welcome to CNN This Morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so I feel like you're among the younger generation that is trying to run for some of these new seats. And we were looking at our polling earlier, and it found there's a good number of voters in the Democratic Party who are actually like their satisfaction with who they have, it breaks down by generation. Some of the older voters are like, I'm fine with this. The younger voters are complaining. How do you win over that older crowd?
I think the energy is palpable. I think the electorate wants to see young voters, young leaders lead this charge. They want to see us usher in a generation of prosperity. They want to see us take charge, elbow our way into the table, and to really be vocal about the issues that are affecting us. This country has been full of broken promises and a lot of unfulfilled commitments. Young people are suffering, and we've had to figure out how to resist and organize against that. And so now we really just want a seat at the table.
Do you feel pushback in the establishment? I mean, things may be better for you in Tennessee, but if you look at, say, I think the special election, you had Deja Fox lose in Arizona. David Hogg had a big falling out with the DNC. Where do you stand on something like this, where he's saying, look, we should actually primary those folks who we think should be out?
Well, for me, I mean, I'm focused on my race. I'm running for the 7th Congressional District. I think in Tennessee, there is a lot of good old boys club, good old boys network. But I will say that the energy is palpable to see young, especially young women, running for leadership positions and breaking the mold when it comes to Congress.
Zohran Mamdani of New York, he's got the buzz right now. You were talking about energy. He was just on Capitol Hill, where I guess Democrats were basically kicking the tires. And here's what they had to say after they met him.
Anybody that's staying out at this point instead of endorsing this incredible dynamic leader is missing an opportunity.
We were just learning skills from him, communication skills. It was not about whether we're supporting him or not.
I think he's a very personable, smart young man. And I hope we're not going to have a lot of circular firing squads.
She hopes, but she's raising it because there may be. Does he help or hurt?
I think he helps. I mean, his message is one of helping working families across New York. My message is one of helping working families across Tennessee. We need to go back to pocketbook issues, especially in states like Tennessee, where people are living unaffordable lives and suffering as a result of Republican policies.
But I think that some of these things, some of these divisions are generational and they don't go away. We were just talking about Israel earlier in the show and its new offensive in Syria. And when it comes to the Democratic Party, there was a Quinnipiac poll that found Democrats overwhelmingly sympathize more with Palestinians, 60% compared to 12% sympathy for Israel. And I bring this up because this even breaks down further on generational lines. Are there some issues like Israel where Mamdani becomes a problem, where just the position of young Democrats becomes a problem?
I think it's a moment of reckoning for the Democratic Party, and I think they need to look at where young voters' appetites are, where their policy and their hunger is towards the political processes, and I think that they, really need to lean into it. Young voters are the future.
Even if, like, as we saw in our polling, independents are not loving Democrats, right? Like the approval rating for Democrats is not good. Is it because on some of these issues, Americans feel like you guys are just too far from where the rest of us are?
Well, I think, the culture wars are a distraction from the real issue, which are economic issues. And I think the economy is affecting both young people and older generations, like I see in Tennessee and especially in this congressional race. And so these issues, cheaper groceries, affording rent, these are issues that really resonate with young folks. And I think if the Democratic Party can become a party of the economy, of economic populism, that then they can rein in both independents and young people.
One more thing. You've called, in your current race, you're saying it's a referendum on the big BS bill. And as soon as I see something like BS, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Dark woke. Are you in that? All of a sudden, there's this sense that, like, Democrats, they need to sass their way back into authenticity, and be more direct, and say tougher things. You know what I'm talking about, right? And that there's a generation that somehow respects that more. Are you of that thinking? At a certain point, is just getting more vulgar a race to the bottom? Like, help me understand that line of thinking.
Well, I'm a pissed off social worker, and in the South, I'm often known for cussing a few times in my state legislative committees and on the floor. I think for me, it's a moment where people are angry. I'm angry. I'm upset that my constituents are losing their benefits. I'm upset that people are struggling to afford basic cost of living. And I think that, yeah,
Is it show anger to compete in the rage economy? Is it show anger because your voters think people aren't actually fighting?
I think voters want to know you care. They want to know that you care loudly for their issues and for their families, for their safety, and for them to have a better life than their parents. And I just, that is why I'm running for this congressional race.
All right, Aftyn Behn, thanks so much. Thank you for not cursing on this show. I appreciate it. It's a morning show. She's, of course, running for Democrat for Congress in Tennessee. You can follow that race on CNN.